Right. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully, everybody's having a good Friday. Not the Good Friday, but a Good Friday. Right. Today's Jin's birthday. Jin is 5 today, so there's always that fun and exciting nature of that. It's funny. It's her last day of little school because she'll go to kindergarten in the fall. So it's they're having their end of year beach party, Jin's birthday, and her regular birthday all on the same day. So crazy day. Um, we'll see if my voice holds up. My throat is still killing me, so I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, non-farm. Yeah, couple things to talk about. One, average earnings were actually adjusted down a little bit, so not making as much. There was a bunch of different things that come out in this payroll report. One of them was like the hours working a week actually went down a little bit. The average hourly earnings went down. Not as much as expected. The employment change was a double double. More people got hired last time than expected, and again, substantial. I'd say substantial. 40,000 is more. And then the 339 is also a great number. What's going on? I must have kicked the cord. Lost the top one there. Anyway, um, that's a huge difference. That's huge. 40,000, 50,000 is a big deal. That's a big difference there. Huge difference. So showing that we're pretty resilient. The unemployment rate went up. Um, I am actually expecting this to have an adjustment. They wanted it to go up a little bit, but you remember there was a couple months prior to this that we had that big jump that was like, holy crap. And then what did it do? It immediately sunk back down again, right? Um, so I'm kind of expecting that this one will kind of be just like a single blip. The reality is this rate is based off a percentage of people inside of the market force. This change is how many people actually got hired. So again, it's more people being hired back. So, eh, overall, it's going to be hard to read today because you have one good and one bad. Overall, the biggest thing is obviously the debt. The debt, Senate passing the passes the bill to raise the debt. Preventing the first ever U.S. default. And again, it was a potential default. It wasn't like an official, like, okay, that's it. We're going to run out of money. So yeah, um, there's that. Obviously, Turkish lira. I was kind of surprised at this one that he got reelected. I think this is like his third decade now. People seem like they hate him, but he keeps getting reelected. So I don't know if it's just the news that makes it seem like everybody hates him. But I don't know. But yeah, he's back in again. And the Turkish lira falls to new lows. And again, depending on how he plays it, could be a good thing, right? People look at this as a bad thing, but look at Japan, right? Japan's based their economy off of it, right? If done correctly, he could be some for long term growth. BRICS nations say new currency may offer shield from sanctions. They're 100% right, right? If you have something that's supposed to be internationally bartered no matter what, i.e., the dollar, but yet suddenly you can lock people off and just take money that they have in their accounts, it can't be used as an international form, um, you know, of barter. Now, is the solution the BRICS currency? No, not necessarily. But again, they are 100% right in this one that, yeah, you shouldn't be able to sanction a form of payment. You shouldn't be able to cut people off or, take accounts like that, like they did. So, yeah, yeah, I actually I see this coming forward. I don't think it's a solution, but understand China was the first one to come up with a digital currency and talked about replacing the dollar. Their entire mission is replacing the United States, and now they have many other nations on board, including Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, I mean the writing's on the wall, right? So again, yeah, they don't want to have the again removing the ability to do those sanctions, and that's something that again I think our egos got ahead of us for. So, um, yeah, besides that, again, I think the biggest thing that we're going to have now today is, how are people reacting? Oh, man, why is it doing this again? Chip got under here and played with some chords, and now the top monitor's going out again. People are going to look at this today and say, okay, how did we decipher this? We got one red, we got two greens, we got one red. Biggest thing is obviously we're staying resilient. The labor market is doing well. Jolt's data was higher than expected, and more people are getting hired. So, typically when we go into recession and all things are bad, you're not seeing the labor market, respond in a good way, right? Companies are not hiring people, right? There are not job openings, and we're seeing both those. So, you know, as far as a non-farm payroll goes, I mean, hey, people are getting hired, people are getting jobs, and there's more job openings there. The unemployment rate went up, but it doesn't mean that there's not jobs to fill those people. It's not that those people can't get jobs. Um, so that's not bad. Overall, tomorrow nothing. Sunday we have those OPEC meetings. I can't wait to see. I really can't wait to see what comes out of the OPEC meetings. Um, I think there's a lot of potential for a headline, particularly again because right now if you look at who's in OPEC and these JEMC like the OPEC Plus group, a lot of those same characters are going into this BRICS deal, right? In this new BRICS bank. So yeah, kind of interesting how again the our previous closest ally, right, in the oil OPEC realm, is now part of this group as well. So yeah, we'll see. There could be some nice little headlines, and then obviously on Monday morning we start in with CPI as well as ISM services. We'll see if services is able to continue to grow, or excuse me, if services starts to roll back again. So it could be interesting. As far as big movers on the board, the only one is the dollar CAD. It is down 107, but you can see it is retracing back in the last 60 minutes. And again, that's news, right? A lot of that was debt deal. Yep, debt deal is getting done. Again, that weakens the dollar. And then seeing these employment numbers, it's the exact opposite kind of, you know, no, I have no chat again. If you guys are saying anything in chat, I can't read it today. Oh, maybe it's back. It's the old good refresh. Yeah. So, what's interesting? I just realized. So on Restream, like again, there's the free version. I just use the free version for it. Like I'm fine with the logo in the upper right hand corner. It's interesting. They still have Ukrainian colors on the Restream logo. I would assume, you know, I don't know. Maybe they changed their mind on it. I'm kind of surprised because they try to kind of cycle it through since that's old. Being that it's June 1st, this is I guess is it? I guess June 1st is the LGBT, what the rest of the things there. I'm shocked they didn't turn it to like a rainbow, restreaming like rainbow. Right? They kept it Ukraine. I don't know. Maybe they're scared of like backlash or something. I don't know after the whole Budweiser thing. Maybe they're not going there. I don't know. It's weird. Kind of surprised it was there. It's like, huh. All right. So let's go right in the charts. VIX obviously yesterday with all the calls of getting that debt deal done. Um, Obviously that's positive for lowering volatility, right? So again, there was a huge crush yesterday. Seeing things get past, the ball's actually rolling. Talking about how it's bipartisan. Obviously, the extreme ranges, it was not enough. They wanted zero compromise, but unfortunately, that's not how the government works. It's being detailed as a bipartisan deal because both sides had to compromise. I love how they pat themselves on the back, saying that, like, yeah, we both compromise. You should pat us on the back. It's like, nah, that's what you're there for. You're supposed to be doing that. The dollar, little changed, right? I mean, we had that big push yesterday, and then once the big push came down about noon yesterday, we're really kind of just in the same area, right? Basically, we pushed a little bit lower and kind of a little bit of a spike up and kind of a little bit of movement back and forth right now. We're at 103.50. Excuse me. Ugh, so tired. Sorry, it was a long night. Jim was coughing like all night. I had Kip, but I could hear Jim coughing from the other room. I think the debt, again, having this been driven up, increasing the debt level and everything. Again, if we have more debt, we print more. It's considered negative for the currency strength. I think right now you're not seeing a big kind of boom back again, back up into that 104 range, even with these non-farm numbers, just because I think the market has it factored in already. There's not. I mean, at this point, I don't think there's any doubt that they're raising 0.25. The market is not. The world is not ending. The polar ice caps are not. Flooding the coast at this point. Um, so I mean, I just don't think there's enough out there right now to really have this be a major kind of like you know no major movement, unfortunately, right? Not unfortunately, but there's just nothing out there. Again, debt deal done, non-farm payroll looks good, means that the world is not ending. Again, more people are getting hired back. Way more people are getting jobs. Unemployment rate, that's, this is what the Fed said this needed to get to 4.6 before we're out of the woods. But seeing this many people get hired back again, it's good. Indices deeply in the green. Again, it's a good day. This is a lot more people. Um, if you think about like how this boils down for the indices for the day, I mean, again, a lot more people being hired means a lot more people have jobs, meaning a lot more people get paid, and that's a lot more people spending, right? So, I mean, overall, that's good, right? That's a good thing. It should be a green day. And like I said, I believe at this point, the market is already factored in that raise. So it's, any type of news like this, it's like, well, we already factored it in. That's what they're doing, right? They're already doing that. So I think that's why we're not seeing a lot of movement. Commodities, we're seeing oil creep up back up to 72. We just kind of broke below 72. It's 71.99. It's up 2.7%. Um, I was really hoping that this one was going to continue to stay low. I was really hoping we get the close, but I think what the market's starting to do is prepare. You know, I think the market's going to understand where what's happening with the data. And again, the U.S. data, great, right? The U.S. data is great, um, but the Chinese data, again, China is the main driver right now as far as oil goes. It's not as much the U.S. as much as you would believe that it would be. China's the bigger driver. Um, I would not be surprised if OPEC Plus this weekend quotes instability, going from 72 to 68 back up to 72. Quite volatile, right? Quite volatile. Um, and the need for some cuts, right? I wouldn't be surprised if there's, they mentioned the need for some cuts to stabilize. And again, they want to raise the price, make more money. Um, especially now if if Saudi Arabia is financing or trying to finance a new banking system and a new currency, why would they not want to pad that with additional income from oil, right? And who's going to stop them? Russia? Russia would also like to do the same thing. Make oil prices a little bit higher. They collect more money. They have more money to help fund the new currency. So it all makes sense. So again, I'm not really surprised that that's going higher. Natural gas. What do they say now? Natural gas trading higher as inventory rise meets expectation. And again, that's what we got just a little while ago, 10 minutes ago. So it's popping up a little bit. Again, 221 is it justified? I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's better than the eights that we were dealing with a year ago. So 220 is great. Gold and silver, both in the red, not massively, but again, kind of they're both the same. The data is, yeah, you know, the Fed doesn't have any reason not to continue going higher and fighting inflation. It's there again, kind of failure to go higher, kind of an easy setup on it. They're both down about the same, about 0.6. 260. I'm sorry, 1965 and 2375. I think the 23 is a little high. 2375. The 1965, I think it makes sense. Kind of where it is. Aussie. So with the Aussie raising up, you can see we had a nice little bounce and then kind of a Harry Potter off of it. This one is going to kind of continue past again. We've gone past the 23. Didn't even slow down. Actually, there's a little bit of a hiccup there, and I'm surprised we didn't get more off that 23. If we go down here, there was the wick in here, but I'm really surprised we didn't get more. It had been there before a few times. This was a decent push, but once it pushed all the way down is where that 23 came into effect. I'm surprised we got nothing, right? Now we're playing with the 50, and, I'll continue to cross. There are obviously levels up here. Obviously, with the news, it's kind of bouncing back and forth. I think at this point, wait for the dollar strength to roll back into the market. You could draw something here and say, hey, listen, there's a little Harry Potter, position right here. Again, we're seeing the dollar weakness, and again, a lot of that is, the overall market being like, hey, debt limit, going to keep that spending, just keep raising that debt. It's going to lead to inflation. And they're not wrong. So it's kind of considered weak for the dollar. But will the dollar strength roll back in? Yeah, absolutely. I think this one's pretty easy. I'm kind of hoping this one does not. Was image always in here? Every so often they update something. I'm like, huh? I feel like tweet was in there. I don't know. Was image in there? Is that new? I feel like that's new. Or like the text is different or something. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like they add things every so often, right? Um, yeah, I don't feel like there was a GAN square fixed in here. Or I think these are new, right? I feel like those are new. So we got. Oh, by the way, um, it's this one. My Harry Potter drawing. How I keep clicking it. I did a mentoring session with Ryan this week, and he's like, no, use this one, right? Look at that. I can do that and just click it. I don't have to click this 3 times to keep doing the same thing. So see, sometimes in mentoring sessions, even I learn something. I was pretty excited about that. I was like, oh, that's so much faster than me doing this and then clicking this again. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, if I can just do this, oh, I can keep doing it. I'm like, that's so much better. So see, I learned something this week in mentoring sessions as well. But anyway, this is what we're looking for. Like I said, I don't think that image was there. That image is new. Oops, it's supposed to be. I'm kind of curious. It's like, did they add more? God knows, under the symbols and flags. They've completely messed this one up for me. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they added emojis to it, it's like, do we need emojis on our charts? Right? Stickers, do I need these? YOLO. Like, again, professional platform. Let's put YOLO in there, right? Yeah, I'm not saying those are different. Now I'm kind of curious. What else is there? Oh, Ghost Feed? I think that's a new one. I don't think that was there before. Maybe. Again, I only go to the top on this one. But I think that's new though. I don't think Ghost Feed was in there before. Fixed range volume profile. Yeah, I love these. I love this one. This is my favorite thing ever. Like I love how people use this one. They're like, "Oh yeah, the volume profiles. Those are good. That's a secret sauce. That's a secret sauce." It's like, really? Do you know how many orders are actually not in the system that get placed before you could even tell, before this would even catch up, right? That get initiated that you never even know about? And then there's this thing like, oh yeah, sometimes orders don't get put on the tape when they're too big and they come in later after the fact that those are not on there either. So I love this one. It's like, how do you manipulate the retail trader? Put on a volume profile. Show them where all the orders really are. Wink, wink. I feel like Ghost Feed is new too. So yeah, they're throwing all kinds of new stuff in this now. So anyway, yeah, I look for this in reverse. Again, we are up at 50. There's another little level right above it. I would say right now look for a break of 66.03 coming down to 65.77. Kind of makes sense where it is. And again, there's actually two little Harry Potters in there. I would say there's one there. Hopefully it doesn't break today. Again, I don't love the Friday trading. For the most part, though, there is another one sitting there right as well. And this one is, again, another 9 pips. I'm good with this one too to the downside. And this one actually has even a bigger racetrack scenario to it. Um, you know, again, depending on what your Friday is, right? I think there's two different trade setups. This one is probably more for next week. This is probably a Sunday night reversal, so I'm gonna throw that here. I'm gonna throw a little alert on that one so I can get it on Sunday night. But yeah, two different short trade setups. It's kind of the same thing. I'll just take this, put it here, put that there. Are kind of the two different options for this one. Overall, again, dollar strength coming back in, weakening gold, which is also a proxy for this one. So I like this one on a fundamental basis. Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, we did have some movement. This one actually also took off, and you can see 1, 2, 3. It based at 4. You're like, yup, it's breaking. It Harry Pottered, went higher. Um, we're sitting kind of in a level right now. It's been here and it pushed it pretty deep. So not obviously the best opportunity to take this one short, especially with the basing right below it. Don't actually love that one right now either. Again, with it basing, it's trying to find those buyers to punch through, and it's been there deep, putting buyers in. I would say right now, look for these two to reverse up top. So not bad, not bad. Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. It like just blinks in and out every so often. It's kind of like it's like a loose connection. I can never remember which one it is, but it's like Kip touches one of the cords and then it makes it just loose enough, and like you gotta like wiggle it. I know it has power, but it drives me crazy because I lose the entire top monitor goes out. I can never figure out which cord it is that wiggles. It's so misleading. All right, so if you're talking, guys, I can't see anything. Now it's gray. Great, lovely, even better. That's annoying. I have to like kick the right cord. Come on. Guess we're going with a gray monitor. Okay. All right. Anyway, 92.59 is what we're looking for this one to go to. Hmm, Where? All right, there we go. I was like, why can I not move this around? Whoop, wasn't trying to do that one. All right, no idea. Looks like it was updating something. All right. So yeah, 92.59, 92.93. Let's go right up to 93. Question is, can I here? There's no power on the top monitor, even though it's lit up gray right now. So fun. Yeah. So look for those two. Euro dollar. All right. So euro dollar. We had an area. We'd seen basing off that one before. We knew we had the 50% there, and all of a sudden we started getting this base here. Once you started getting this base, you got to really kind of question like, oh crap. It based beforehand. It started to put a level in right there. You're like, oh crap. If this hits, it's gonna bounce anyway. And the reality was on this one, if you took this one, you lost 11 pips. Is it the end of the world? No. I mean, it hit. It had done some basing there, showed us there were some buyers. But once it hit and pushed back down again, and then hit it again and pushed back down again, right? Because there's a wick here. Let's move that over so you can see it. Wick here, back down, right? Wick here, close back down again. And this was a higher base on there. Hit here and went down again. You're like, listen, this sucker is breaking. It's in here again. It's like, and this is being higher. It's gonna break, and it did. It's exactly what happened. So you may have lost one on that one. Um, if you had set and forget it. But again, one, two, this was hit number three. And once it pulled back down again, you're like, oh God, this is going to be hit number four. And that's exactly what happened. Hit number four is what drove it through. Right now, we're up at this higher level. And again, we said the 61.8 would be kind of an interesting area. It got up there like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not ideal for kind of reversal trades, especially in the euro dollar. It did nothing but kind of base sideways. And then eventually the overnight started. Right. 3 o'clock is right there. There. And this one just continued to push lower, and it's doing exactly what we talked about in the Aussie dollar, kind of pushing to the downside. All right, this monitor's gonna drive me nuts now. It's fine when it's black, but now that it's like lit up gray, it is driving me crazy. Um, I think this one continues to push down. Do we bounce off this level? Potentially, but you can see it. It was a quick down, a quick up, a quick down again. Overall, fundamentally, I like this one to push to the downside. Actually, I guess we could adjust this down a little bit. Looks like we, again, we're basing on that front side there. Let's pull this off again. That was a good trade before. We're gonna pull this. This we're good. Of. Let me see where we're gonna get some help. I think something's updating because I keep moving and the mouse takes a while to catch up. Um, right now I would say profit wise, again, look for the 50. Yeah, I think profit wise, 107.07 is probably where we want to get some profit out. Again, it's 50% retracement. You can see the red candles right above. Watch that one. Could be a potential bounce off this as well. But overall, I think it probably comes down and then basis in here before dropping lower. Again, that's what it used right now. Those are the buyers that it used to punch through this one. Um, There we go. This the screen is currently not set to the correct. I reckon. Oh, can't get off of it now. Oh, I hate when it does this. Oh, it's not giving me the ultra wide. So this is gonna be a fun. This is gonna be a fun little bit here. I can't see it anymore. No, it's not that one. No. Oh God, I can't do it. How do I do it? It is the display port. What is it? Quick settings, brightness, volume, ratio. Is it ratio? Original. No, it's not original. Oh no. All right, so it's all over the place. I fixed it, and then it's like, oh, you plug this back in again, and now I can't get it to go to ultra wide. So it's set on like weird things, so I can't see anything. I can't figure out where everything is either. Where does it think that it is? I can find two monitors. I can find two, so we're just gonna try to go with it. I can find two. Oh God, that's gonna drive me crazy though. It's all weird. Anyway, look for this one to come down. I think 107.07 is a decent target on this one. I think it rolls all the way back down. I think next week we are talking about coming down and tagging the 78. Um, I think this level down here, the 106.68. I like the way this one kind of bounced. I like the ascending candles on it. That would be a target for me probably Monday. I think this one will have the ability to do some news next week. Maybe services is a little bounce area. Um, if services is if it's not higher, if it's lower, I think that could provide a potential bounce. Or Sunday night, we kind of push higher dollar weakness, and then we take it into this Monday morning ISM services. So looking for maybe a potential, like one of these, and then look for a drop with news. Okay. But right now, today, again, probably bases around a little hop here. I don't think there's much more in it. Euro pound. Okay. Where is it? Is it this one? Can't find it. As far as this one goes, again, we talked about this being a big level down below. It was a target 80, 85, 83. It came down and it's just basing in that same level. It's down 0.11, not a lot of movement right now. Everything is over. Um, had the nice little run. We can kind of bring these down right now, and you can see we got the 23.6 in there. I think it's going to take a lot to push through. I think the next target to the downside we're looking for is 85.35. We knew there's a little bit of a racetrack, but there was too much risk associated with it, so not really a whole lot that we can trade. Um, you know, not much that I'm really in love with it. I'm like, yep, keep taking this one short. If you caught the short here, it's not horrible. You're up, I don't know, 15 pips. You could have said, well, wait a second, look at that. There's basing right there. That's a 23.6. You could have. You could have. But the risk level on this one is again 10 pips. It's only got a 43 pip ATR on a Friday. The likelihood of this one being a complete to the downside on a Friday when this market only has 2 more hours to go, um, it needs to go to there, right? And this is a pretty decent bottom, and that pushes us a little bit in. Could it do it? Sure. Do I think it's going to start running out of steam? Probably. Is there really going to be a lot of profit taking to help us with a reversal on this one? Mm, not so much. Not so much. So just something to kind of keep your eyes on. All right. Um, where do we go with this one next week? I think the pound is in a better spot right now than the euro. I do think we probably, I don't know. Yeah, look, pound heads for the biggest weekly gain in 6 months. I think there's probably a little bit more we can move today. But I think the euro probably fights back a little bit next week. But I do believe that the pound is in a better spot right now. The euro is going to slow down. The pound went up with a higher interest rate. But again, pound obviously UK is not obviously fixed. Okay. Euro yen. So we're still grinding back up to the 150 level. I don't even know. Let's see. We're gonna get any help from this one. Yeah, yeah. It's backstopped by the 61.8 on this one. Look for this one to rally a little bit more. Right. Again, this would be Euro strength. But again, the 150 is going to be a big target. We've kind of chopped back and forth. We had that little reversal there. Again, 10:30 yesterday morning was the reversal on the bottom. Right there's your 10:30 reversal coming through right at this zone. There was your zone. There was your confirmation. Then there was your 10:30 reversal yesterday morning, and there was your run all the way back up again. Um, Ideally, I'd like it to stop right here and then open, right? Open right here on Sunday. That would be awesome, and then that would be another short right around that 150. Again, 150, huge psychological level, particularly in this one. People will talk about it. Um, Again, Yeah, and I still believe we are going to get some type of a mention. Um, just the comments coming out of the yen, I still feel like there's probably an intervention due sometime soon. So I'd like to see that come in. Pound dollar. All right, so really, really high. We actually had a Harry Potter drawn up here, and we say, hey, listen, if we can break through 125.46, we're looking to take this one long. It hit once, and then it pushed it literally to the brink. You were like, yeah, there's probably not there. There's a confirmation, but getting risky on this one for a reversal. It ended up hitting it, and then hitting going even higher again, and then had to fight, and then had to fight again, and had to fight again. So it's been really, really trying hard to get through there. It hasn't been able to do it. So with this one high now, I think again as we break through this level here at 125.47, again looking to go long. UK again, I think they're done. I think we'll get some kind of a pullback in this one, but when we do finally break through 125.47, and I think we will, I think once the US does start talking about pausing, I think this one actually goes and breaks it. Um, you could have kind of said a Harry Potter, but unfortunately, the news this morning kind of sliced through and then came right back up. No entry or anything like that. Could you be short now? You could be sure. Again, with all this up top, when this pulled back up into that level, you could have pulled the trigger knowing that it was a little bit riskier. But with most likely, we were going to see dollar strength roll back in for the rest of the day. And again, that's the, we had clearing down to 124.92. Little hiccup here. If you are short, look to grab your profits somewhere around there. Um, not a horrible, about 50. It's about a 50 pip runner, 55 pip runner from where the entry would have been for news today. Not the worst of trades. At a 92 pip ATR, we'll probably end up somewhere in here, I would assume. Next week, excuse me, for a Sunday open, I'd like it to open up a little bit on the high side. Um, I'd like to take this. I'd like to be short this one going to next week. Wouldn't be surprised Sunday night. Again, where is Sunday night? Right here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this and then this. Right. Have this come in as a red. And the reason why is dollar weakness going into the news, and then the ISM services number, just reaffirming that again, strong dollar, and then with a Monday morning coming back in again, some type of a push like that is kind of how I'm setting up the weekend right now. But you could be short if you wanted to. Just don't hold it too long. It is Friday. Volume's going to dry up. The UK will, not be involved much longer. So be room to run. Pound yen again. Little spike this morning. Again, a lot of this has to do with the Dow overall. We touched this one on the 78, so we can take that one out. We can run this one overall high. Uh, Good one. 2, 3. Look at the base. Oh, and then it used it to the top side, went up. Base, they came back down. Uh, Up to see if there's anything in there. No, not really. You can see there's a clearing all the way down till I don't even like the level, but there's a level sitting all the way down to 61. I would say right now this would be a target to the downside at 173.36. Is this the reversal for the day? Probably. Probably it's that 9:30, 10 o'clock window. We know the price has been up here before. This 140, I'm sorry, 174.50ish range. Probably pulls back a little bit. Is there a trade in this one today? If anything, I would say having it pull back down again, maybe into the 174 flat area. It's only 36 pips, and there's not really a zone for it. Again, this is going to be one of those ones. The UK's only got, 2 hours to go, right? 2 hours to go. Again, you can find that by looking down here, right? Minute and 50 seconds, right? It ends in a minute and 50 seconds. So, um, and then the UK is completely out. Could they be gone for the weekend already? Sure, sure. So I think probably a pullback down, maybe a little bit of basing here, but overall, not necessarily a trade setup. I'd actually be okay if this one, again, we mentioned the euro pound kind of ticking back up again, some pound weakness rolling in just for profit taking. Again, whenever you say that, oh my God, this is the strongest thing, right? And again, a lot of this is debt deal right now too with the yen. Um, I think we're probably due for a bit of a reversal on this one, a pullback down. So again, Sunday night. Right now, my belief is again, I don't know where it opens, but right now, if it opens up here, I'd be looking for opportunities to take this one short Sunday night or even Monday, rolling back to the downside till Tuesday, Wednesday. Dollar CAD. Again, a lot of movement. Nah, it's down 0.1 in 24 hours, right? In 24 hours, you see that it's 93. It is ticking back up again, but most of that was yesterday, right? With that kind of debt deal, and then now we're just kind of fluctuating back and forth, kind of holding in this level. We talked about here's one big one. Unfortunately, it's going to start a slow tier back up again, but it's Friday. I think kind of seeing where we are here. If we can get a pull back down again, going into this news again, it's services. I like the pot, the pushback out of it. I do think overall target wise next week by Wednesday we're kind of back up in this area right around this 135.50ish level. Basically retracing this move. Obviously, the US is going to have more strength than what the Canadian dollar has in it. Um, so I'd like to see kind of a retrace from the debt deal. Once the debt deal is like kind of off the table, like remember when they were like, "Oh my God, the banking crisis, right? Oh, the banks are all going to start failing. There's going to be a run on the money. Oh my God, it's going to be horrible." And now that seems like a thing of the past, right? Yeah, it happened. It's done. UBS got a little bit bigger. Um, JP Morgan got a little bit bigger. Um, no big deal, right? You eat the big fish eat the small companies. That's all it was. And now it just seems like a thing in the past. So I would say again, look for this to roll back up. Is there a great entry down here? Yeah. Are we going to get enough movement today? 31 pips. What do we got here? 11. I like this one long, but I think the problems with this one right now, the way that I see it is this level of basing right here. Let's see, is it? It's a little bit not quite there, but I think this level of basing is going to provide enough resistance that it's going to not be the best opportunity for us to really get a good trade out there. Again, racetrack above. Decent racetrack. It's got to get to the 23.6. Oops, not that. A little bit big, and maybe we can adjust this a little bit. 13 needs to go there. The worst of trades. I kind of like it to break. Kind of like it to go up here, and then Sunday start back in the level. Like do one of these. Sunday open there. Something along those lines. That would be pretty decent. But watch that level again. If you want to set an alert, you can set an alert on that one for 34.60. Dollar Swiss. All right. So, um, this is what we had drawn the other day. You can see that it hit the 50. I have to actually adjust it up to the top of that level, but yeah, it kind of did what it should have done, right? Came down and it based going right along. We talked about this on Wednesday, and it did. It came down and literally based right along that profit taking line. Didn't hit the 23, and then all of a sudden it hit the 23 and just continued to drop. And then it kind of went back up and used that same base to continue its downward momentum. Again, um, probably a 50% retracement. That's what I was looking at. I was like, yeah, it looks like a 50% retracement coming in there, right? And nice continued push. And now it's at the 50 and having some problems, and it used the 50 as the bottom, and now or used it as the top, and now it's using it at the bottom, and kind of basing around. Again, dollar strength coming in for all the same reasons that we've talked about for the other pairs. The data was good. Again, they're going to continue to raise interest rates, fight inflation. The data with the debt ceiling is out now, right? All the weakness that came in because of that should be beyond and past this, unless there's anything, I don't know. I guess if Biden suddenly decides that I don't like it and we're not going to do it now, which I think their chances of that are slim to none. You don't create a deal and then kill it later on. Um, so yeah, I think again, I think this cycle's back up again. I'd like to see some dollar weakness come in before the news here on Monday, the services data, and then this could also potentially be along as well. But dollar Swiss on a Friday, no thanks, not interested. Dollar yen, nice little pop this morning again, kind of as expected. We knew this level here, 1, 2, based in and out, and where it's sitting there right now. We can remove it right now. 78 was not hit. Ooh, spike, spike. Is it going to help us? Yeah, it could potentially. I'd say this is about the only level I'd be looking at. Again, it's a confirmed 61.8 backstop. Right. We run back up again. That could be a reversal point for later on this afternoon. So my favorite thing in the world? Not so much. It's okay. It's all right. I don't want to make it seem like it's where it's like stop saying that it's an ultra wide. It's driving me nuts if you can't tell. Anyway, 139.77. I think it's a decent rollover. Again, will we have time today? Probably not. Maybe we do. It's only about 40 pips, but again, it's got a 4 hour ATR of 48 pips. So if it does go up 40 in 4 hours from now, it's 2 p.m. Could we turn and roll back down again? It's potentially there, but again, a little bit harder. But I think overall, that's a decent one. If we can open up there again, yen strength coming in, dollar weakness coming in on Sunday night, I think that's not horrible. So again, if we are closing up there, there is a potential for a short in the overnight. Oil we already talked about. We talked about 71.70 being an area where we had some things. 78.6. It's kind of where we're at right now. We're chopping a little bit. Remember, this market closes a bit early. Obviously, the futures market stays open later, but obviously the oil market does close earlier than all the futures all do. But gold and the energies and the metals obviously do close early. There is a zone up here. And again, maybe this is what we're going to see next week. I don't like the 78. Obviously, people in oil do like it. We are seeing it. We're chopping. We said 71.70, and that's kind of where we started to do the chop at 78. The 78.6 number is coming in at 72.21. If we close in that area, that actually could be an area where we're looking for shorts coming in on Sunday night. I think that actually makes a lot of sense. But again, I think the OPEC Plus meeting has the potential to, again, maybe they don't announce any cuts, but maybe they bring up the fact that they are looking at cuts just because, again, the demand in China, the data was not good and that's a driving force, and that puts a negative spin on it. I mean, at least until the U.S. market opens up in the overnight, that could absolutely push us to the downside. So, could be something in this one. Um, could be something there, right? Could be. Trying to think, is there anything else I like in this one? Some of the, I guess some of the levels are okay. I don't know. It's all right. I think the big one for me on this one, and again, this is I think the most important thing right now. Look at the 70 figure. 70, we obviously know big psychological level. The fact that we had all this basing right on the 70, and we had this big pop. I think there's probably a decent little Harry Potter trade in here. And again, you may not trade silver on a regular basis. I'm sorry, oil on a regular basis. But all this has to do is drop down to what, a dollar drop. It's up $1.85. So it's definitely well within range of what can happen in a trade. And as soon as this breaks through 70, everybody will be like, oh my God, we've broken through 70. We're going back down to 65. Um, you know, Overall profit taking on this one should occur right about there. So overall, it's a pretty decent little setup. Okay. Natural gas. All right. So natural gas, we know why we had the pop. We talked about it earlier. Trading higher as inventory rise meets expectations. I think the big one on this, again, we had talked about a Harry Potter trade in this one. I have a break. When we talked about near-term basing, you can see that we did get actually a pullback, but the near-term basing actually came in slightly above, right? It actually came in right there, right? There's where it is, and there was your 1 to 3, right there. Basically, almost the exact same profit target. Um, So yeah, so we were looking for this. We were looking for the pullback, but once we got the base above, you're like, yep, there we go. We got to adjust higher. It pulled down. It based. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me use it. Let me use it. Path right, right. It based. Actually, you know what? I'll do it over here. It based sideways. It came down. It pulled back up, and then it went down. Right. And this one to the thick boy. To the thick boy. And look, now I can move the whole thing. Oh God, look how great that is. Right. Oh, it's such a great thing. So excited about that. As unhappy as I am about the monitor right now, I'm so excited about that. So, trading Zodiac. um, yeah. So right now, I would say that's another level. Again, look that same exact level we had before. We can take those guys off. We'll just remove this. Let's see. Where is there? There'll probably be some influence from a 23. Let's see. Yeah, look, the 23.6 is now at that same level. So, if we're able to climb up, I think 226. Watch out for a 226. Right. Not the worst of spots. Not the worst of spots. Yeah. Gold. Gold continued to deteriorate back down. We mentioned this one. Makes complete sense why it's what's going on with that one. Again, all the data was strong dollar today. This should push it right back down again. 1963 is good. We talked about Harry Potter. We drew this one the other day. We can adjust it slightly if you want. But we drew it here on Tuesday, Wednesday. We've hit it now 3 times. Again, I think this is one. This makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce off this zone one more time, especially going into the weekend. But overall, I'd be looking for this one to go right there and push back down. Again, overall profits are down here at 1935. Right now, again, 1935 is a little bit low, but this one's not horrible. I don't mind. 1950 down to 1939. Okay, not too shabby. Um, silver looks exactly the same. Look, right? What did silver do? Silver bent right off the 24. This one actually almost had more of a Harry Potter in there. Um, Hold on 1 second, guys. It's the boys' school calling, and they're not supposed to be calling me. Hold on 1 second. Oh, that was exciting. That was exciting. Uh yeah. So as soon as we are done here in a few minutes, I need to go pick up my child from school. He I don't know exactly what happened, but yeah, something was thrown and the teacher was hit in the face. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun afternoon. Nothing like ruining your sister's birthday by throwing things in school during your final. So, I'm not sure why they're calling me instead of mom, but yeah, great. Anyway, silver dropping. Nice little Harry Potter trade set up in here. There you go. If we get a pullback to it, will this one continue to drop down? Yeah, I think that one's fine. Um, this one's a little bit harder. There's 2 stages here. I'd say profit target one is here, and profit target number two is right there. Um, right there. Yeah, so we're probably going to hit both these without getting the actual pop up to it, unfortunately. Again, this would have been a nice little. I didn't see it, but they would have been a nice little pop down here, knowing that was a 24 popping back down again. 5:30 reversal came back up again. It pulled back in, a little bit of a wiggle back and through at news time, but overall a decent push to the downside. If you are short this one, make sure you get out. This market does close earlier as well. Um, yeah. So if you're not short, take it to those two levels. As far as the overall indices go today, again, Apple kind of shooting to the downside. Tesla, going back up again. Indices, in my opinion, should all stay. I mean, again, obviously, big VIX from yesterday from the drop. Obviously, the news is out, the data's out. Dollar rising absolutely as it should. We talked about four being a big one, most likely where it's coming back to, and I think it ends probably somewhere in there. Yes, let's see if we had anything at the open. Wow. Here's your 8:30 news. All right, there's your 8:30 news. You can see there was no real kind of news trade set up in there. It did pull back down again before the news. It pushed back down, but it didn't go into a level here, unfortunately. And then since that time, it's gone up, gone basically up, down, and up. As far as where we go with this now, probably a little bit of profit taking, but I think it closes above. I think this one ends in the green unless there's something major that comes out. As I said, I did Biden sign. Um, Continue to help the economy. Looks forward to signing into law the statement. Yeah, no, it's just patting themselves on the back about it. We've created jobs. I love this. We've created this many million jobs since I took office. Well, of course you did. We were in a pandemic where most businesses shut down. So of course you did. God, I love how smart this guy is. I'm like, we were pretty much a low because of COVID. But hey, claim credit for all that stuff. Go for it, bud. Um, so yeah, ES, no opening print. Obviously, we were sitting over here. It was already going to a high, and again, should have ended in the red. NQ, let's see. NQ may have actually had something. No, 8:45 it popped. 9:30 spiked it up. Everybody bought, got stopped out, came back higher. Wouldn't actually be surprised if NQ does go a bit more. Um, Level sitting right there. Hmm. NQ, I think, is probably set. I want to say this one's set for an end of the day rally. It is the weakest. It is fighting pretty hard. It is technically negative since the open right now. But overall, again, signing things into not the worst of things. This one's struggling more. Again, it's probably Apple that's messing this one up. If Apple can start again, Apple pretty much straight down. It is finding buyers down here, and again, obviously Apple has a big swing in this one. But if Apple starts to rally off this level, NQ should be helped, and we should end up a little bit higher. YM 8:30, 9:30. Unfortunately, look, wasn't even a pullback. It held, it held, it held, it held, skyrocketed higher. I would expect some profit taking, a little bit of a push down. There's a decent level here that's formed, an impulse correction, and then pop again. So that one is pretty decent. Yeah, let's see on this one. Same, the same buy broke above 18, stopped out, found the buyers, pushed higher again. No, I think Russell's good. I think Russell probably ends higher. Where do we end on Russell for the day? Sitting in a level right here that's confirmed. Look what it turned off of. So yeah, we should come in here base a little bit. I think overall, I don't think we have any selling in this till here, 1820, and that's not even a hard sell for me. I think this one has the ability to go higher. So, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, no opening print on this one. So it looks like opening print wise, and again, non-farm is arguably the top, if not, it's top one or top two, if not the. Because remember, interest rate is not a thing that really is an every month thing. Not non-farm is so. it is the biggest news release. Not having an opening print doesn't necessarily shock me at all. So I don't know. Big movers that I'd be looking for again. Look for the dollar or any of the currency plays Sunday night. Look for dollar weakness Sunday night into Monday morning for that ISM services. It's going to be a dollar long base trade. Um, Obviously, I just saw it over here. OPEC plus. Look, warn speculators to watch out. Up there we go. Look, prepares for weekend meeting after Saudi warns speculators to watch out. What I just talked about, I would expect there to be something this weekend. There it is, right there. Look, rattled by supply volatility, demand uncertainty, and the prospective recession, which could throttle transport fuel consumption. Remember, I just said that they were going to probably try to find a way to like do a cutback or something to kind of help with this one. Um, yeah. So yeah, OPEC Plus is setting up for a fun weekend. So it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and do the giveaway for today. It is a 50 pipper. Right, we do have the double today. Let's get this in. My God, he did it again. There's a delay, and he still did it. He nailed it dead on. Man, I don't know how he's doing it. The second I flick through this, bam, Ernest goes. But yet I can see what he's watching, and it's late. Insane. Where's it at? Oh, I can see. Yeah, it's about a minute and a half behind again. Man, he's good. He's good. I gotta say, he's good. All right, I'm gonna close this right down at 9. Right, once it hits 12 more seconds. Again, I don't know how he did that. Still can't be. And you guys are giving it to him cheap too. You're giving it to him cheap. Um, let's see if statistics. Again, it's an even split. He's got a 50-50 draw on it. All right, can he double it up? He won last time. 50-50 draw. Winner is. Ooh, Debbie stings it with a 1. Look at that. Debbie's like, I don't think so. You said his name, but you know, now she's saying say my name. Where we at? Debbie gets her 50. Debbie steals it. Debbie steals it with 1. So, all right. All right, guys. I love my children, but I got to go deal with one now. Go pick him up and figure out why he was throwing things in the classroom. Um, it's like there's 1 week of school. Can you? He's finished his final for the day. It's like, can you just get through the school year without getting suspended, please? So, all right. Wish me luck. I'll let you guys know how it goes on Monday morning. At this point, he's going to Uncle Ernest to work for the summer. Hard labor, nothing but barbecuing all summer. That's it. Give him water, bread, and barbecue. It'll be good. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe, and I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Take care. Have a good one.